Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Witchbrook Oracle. What is going on to my fellow cozy bears? Welcome to the channel and something a little different that I thought would be really fun to do. A look at the Witchbrook Oracle. This is a periodical that the developers have started dropping in anticipation for the highly anticipated game Witchbrook that is supposed to be coming out sometime this year. And while the game is still months away from release, I thought that this would be a fun way for us to get an in-depth look, an inside look at the sights, sounds, and smells of Witchbrook. And hopefully these articles and these issues allow us to get a little bit of more insight into the characters, into the world, into the potential possibilities of things that we might get to do and explore when Witchbrook finally drops. And so I know that this is something a little different than the content that we normally make, but I wanted to do something a little different. I was excited about this and I wanted to share it with you. So I thought we'd take a moment, read through the article, see what we can kind of devise about the game and the characters in the world, the activities that we might get to participate in, and really just share in the excitement and the cozy that I think that this game Witchbrook is going to have to offer for us. And so if you do enjoy the content and you want to support the channel, a like on this video greatly helps out. Comment down below, how excited are you for Witchbrook? And also let me know in the comments section if you'd want to see us read issue 2, 3, and beyond. I would love to, but I only want to give you guys the content that you want to see. And of course, if you enjoyed cozy commentary for your viewing pleasure, you're already in the right place. Hit that sub button. We'd love to have you become a part of our little cozy community. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And without further ado, let's check out this article. Welcome back to the Witchbrook Oracle. Latest news and pictures. As you can see from this image, this will provide announcements, opinions, classifieds, Dear Dusty, whatever that is, horoscopes, and lunar focus. And I just wanted, or lunar forecast. And I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate this because as you can see, Witchbrook is already doing a lot in terms of these articles to build out the world and the characters. And we have to show respect to this because I just find these articles that they have been releasing to be just very cozy and very adorable. And there's just a real charm to it. And I think that charm is going to resonate and is probably just a fraction of what the game has to offer in terms of its cozy appeal. And so without further ado, let's check out this article and see what the world of Witchbrook has awaiting us. And so it starts off by saying autumn comes to Mossport. As you can see, that pixelated style that many of us come to know and love. I really enjoy pixelated style. I think it provides a really cozy aesthetic. The Witchbrook, from what I saw in that trailer, instantly grabbed my attention with its overall appeal using that pixel style. And so beautiful image here on the front page. I love the classic kind of like newspaper style format that they decided to go with to deliver more information. And I hope that this is something that we see in the future in terms of patch notes and updates for the game. I hope that this is something that they continue to do this format for those in the future. But it says autumn comes to Mossport. Witchbrook student rakes in gourd glory. And obviously, as you can see, that is a very, very large pumpkin. And I think really draws into the appeal and the aesthetic. And I hope that a pumpkin growing competition is something that we may potentially get to participate in when we finally get our hands on the game. It states the ambitious young gardener Finkel Blomgren found himself ahead of the carve at this year's annual pumpkin growing competition. Finn claimed the first place with his prodigious pumpkin, Gordon, a whopper weighing in at an incredible 20 stone pre-carve. When interviewed, Finn said, "Gordon's done so great. I always knew he would. I wouldn't be a prouder plant papa. I grow pumpkins every year and he's the biggest I've ever seen. But even tiny pumpkins are amazing. You can grow them just about anywhere, and the flowers, those big yellow blooms you see in summer, are edible too. And the seeds as well. They're a one-stop snack shop." I mean, can we just take a moment and appreciate this pumpkin here? Absolutely insane. I really hope that farming is an aspect of the game, but is not the aspect, if you know what I mean. And as someone that, has only recently dove into Stardew Valley and Roots of Pacha and some other games, Fields of Mystria, you can clearly see farming for some of those games, and for many of those games, is kind of the cornerstone to the overall gameplay loop. It really all exists around farming. And, I hope that Witchbrook does something a little different. I hope that it leans into farming as a potential, as one way to play the game, but it isn't the entire identity of the cozy experience. Because I think, we've talked about this on our Twitch channel before, that the farming aspect, it's a fun aspect of the game, of cozy games and of like, farming sim games, but it shouldn't be the whole, identity of the game. And so I hope that it's a part of the game, but I hope that it isn't the entire thing that defines it. The article continues by stating that the local horticultural society hosted the final judging of the competition at the town's gardening shop, Wildflower, where the winner also works as a part-time employee. Finn was given permission to grow Gordon on the Wildflower premises, raising the eyebrows of some of his fellow competitors, who suggested he may have had an edge over the competition. Oh, I'm smelling a little bit of drama, perhaps. This allegation was denied by shop owner Rin Pasternak. When approached, Rin simply said, "I don't see how it could have made a difference." The competition slipped further into a scandal when it was discovered that 10-year-old entrant Violet McKenzie had zealously filled her own squash with water in a thwarted attempt to double its weight. Oh, Violet McKenzie, knew you couldn't be trusted. Luckily, in the nick of time, mere hours before judging was to commence, Justin McKenzie, father of the participant, discovered his daughter's plot and tipped the water out. I mean, hey, good on her dad to keep her honest. Obviously as a dad, you probably would want your daughter to win, but knowing that she did it in such dishonorable means is probably not a good look for the town. You know what I mean? People talk around the town of Witchbrook, so I hear. And so obviously this would not have been a good, it wouldn't have been a good look for his reputation as well. And I think, keeping her honest, I think is probably his primary objective. As the competition came to a close, we asked Wildflower's Rin if she had any pumpkin growing advice for budding botanists. She said, harvest them right when their color's at its brightest, when their stems are starting to shrivel. Cut the stem, don't twist it, or you'll damage the fruit. The vines are prickly, so wear gloves. Thank you, Rin, for that gardening wisdom. Let's see. And so the article continues down by stating a couple of obvious things. I guess we'll read these first and then we'll go back up and we'll look at some of the other things that were listed. But can we just take a moment here to, this is like your classic newspaper, right? You've got the main headline, then you've got, some other maybe businesses that maybe was sponsored or, ads, one free scoop when you present a pumpkin. Listen, I've been playing Stardew and I've produced quite a few pumpkins in my time, and had it been offered that we could get a free ice cream from Pierre's or somewhere, I would have been so down for this. And so seeing this, it also gives us a hint at potentially one of the shops. We already know that Dobro's, I believe, is one of the shops in the game. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing there, if we're going to be able to actually shop there, maybe work there. Who knows? But it looks like Ice Guys is also going to be a potential shop that is a vendor within the game. And so I'm curious to see if this is just world building or if this is actually going to be an establishment in which we're actively able to participate in. I really hope it is, because I mean, it would be nice to be able to go to class and then also be able to go to Ice Guys and get yourself a free scoop. I mean, that would be amazing. And then you also have Wildflower, which appears to be the shop that is mentioned quite a few times in this article. You can see Wildflower premises, and I think this is the shop that the winner Rin actually works at. And so we've seen the flower shop in the trailer. It seems like it's going to be a big part of the game, and I'm really excited about that. So you see the flower shop, Ice Guys, and then the Swine and Spirits, which is really interesting. The article continues on by stating autumn activities. Eager to enjoy nature's bounty this autumn? We've asked professors, plant experts, and enthusiasts for all their best tips and tricks. Find our guide to flawless foraging on page 6. I mean, just the detail. And I don't believe there is an actual page 6, but it's the detail, the attention to detail that they're providing in these articles that I think is just so charming. I love it so much, and that's why I had to share it. We also got Lost and Found. Mrs. Bailey requests help in locating her missing watering can. It was a gift from her late father and features a butterfly-shaped spout. Please hand it into the post office if found. You know what this actually reminds me of? This would be I wonder if the newspaper is actually going to be a real way in the game in which we receive quests, maybe, bounties, maybe things that we can do, help out the other villagers of the town of Witchbrook. And I mean, this would be a really unique way to do that. Imagine you get, you You go out in the morning and you get your morning paper, and it tells you some of the things that are happening. Maybe it highlights an event that's going to be occurring very soon. You know, similarly to the way in Stardew you get like a calendar, right? However, it would just be such a more immersive way in which you could involve yourself in the town. And I love this fact, and I love that they're sending out these oracles via email, but I would love it, and I hope that this is something that we see in the game as a real way to just immerse yourself in the world. And then we have community notice. An organized trick-or-treat will take place this Saturday. We will be leaving the promenade from the promenade at 4:30 and finish up by 7 p.m. We hope to see you there, Justin and Violet McKenzie. Interesting. And in the next issue, winter warmers, tea recipes for chilly days and cozy nights. I mean, imagine, like, I feel like, I don't know, you know, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? And this might just be copium, but it feels like this is just a prelude to what we're going to be experiencing in the game. You've got activities, you know, tips and tricks. You've got, you know, recipes that you could potentially get your hands on. You've got quests here that you might be able to fulfill, all within this one article that I don't know how often we would potentially get these if they were to be something in the game. But if they were, this would be a really cool way to really bring the player in. Rolling up a bit, we have Dear Dusty, my donut darling. And it states, Dear Dusty, I was tucking into a glazed donut at Dobro's the other day when I locked eyes with someone whose reading choice indicated they were a student at the college. They looked so cool and sophisticated. I wanted to pluck up the courage to talk to them, but I got incredibly anxious when I started to think about all the cool things they must get up to. I just feel so plain. What should I do? Oh, so this is kind of like a advice column in a way, which is really interesting. They give an answer. Dear doe-eyed bro, student of witchcraft or not, people just want to find that special someone to split a delicious donut with. The fact you both lead different lives shouldn't stop you from striking up a conversation, and in fact, could lead to some interesting tete-a-tete. It sounds like you both have a love for delicious fried goods, which could make for an excellent icing breaker. I see what you did there. Who knows? Maybe one day soon, you'll be splitting a donut as you watch the sunset. Best of luck. Love, Dusty. Having a problem and in need of some sage advice? Tackle your worldly woes with the help of Mossport's resident agony aunt. Write to Dusty Inkwell, CO, the Mossport Post Office. I mean, guys, this is just incredible. I mean, this is really cool, and it's something that I think really sets Witchbrook apart from the other cozy farm life sim games that I've played. And listen, I'm relatively new to the genre, really only diving in this year to games like Stardew and Fields and things like that, with each one having their own unique twist on the life sim that I think helps them stand out in one way or another. But you know, with this article, I feel like Witchbrook is already setting itself up for success and putting itself differently from the other life farming sims that exist out there. I think we can all agree that we don't want another Stardew. You know, a Stardew would be great, you know, but I think in terms of the genre, you know, when something else comes out, you want it to be different. And it's not to say it can't have farming, it can't have relationships, it can't have fun donut shops, but it is to say that what this game provides has to be different enough to help it exist on its own. And I think in terms of the aesthetic, the music, everything that we saw in the trailer seems to be leading us to believe, or at least for myself, that this game has the chops to be something unique and truly different within a genre that I think we can all agree has become over the past few years relatively saturated. There are a lot of farming sims out there, a lot of life sims, and they're all more or less, many of them are more or less very, you know, similar replicas of the next, of the other. And so you oftentimes potentially feel like you're playing the same thing. And even if it's slightly different, you know, different characters I think aren't really enough to make the game feel entirely different. But like I said, with the whole like witch aspect, the possibility that you could be going to school, going to class, making relationships, existing in a town that is very like Harry Potter-esque. I love all of that. All of that excites me, and it's very much within a genre that I find a lot of joy in. I really enjoy spooky things. I love Halloween. You know, Halloween Town's one of my favorite films of all time. I watch it every year. I love the idea of a game that celebrates that celebrates the autumn, cozy, spooky witchcraft vibe. And I feel like this game is going to be, I don't know, I've, as someone that really has come to enjoy Stardew, I feel like this game, Witchbrook, feels like my like kind of game, my kind of like farming life sim. and one that I feel like many of us will likely get very lost in. And so I'm excited about this. I'm excited to talk more about this game. They have a couple of other issues available right now. I think issue 2 and 3 are also available at the time of recording this video. And so I would love to read article 2 and issue 3 with you guys if you want. Again, you know, this is kind of a different video from what we've done in the past, but I thought this was really cool and a way for us to continue to talk about this game, even though it's still potentially months ahead, months away from now. And so, you know, I think this is a great way to keep us engaged and keep us informed into the game outside of the trailer that can get us to continue to build that excitement for this game, which I feel like has a lot of potential. And so it is that potential that kind of spurred me to want to make this video and talk about these articles, and just also just the general coziness that this article brings. I love the kind of beige backdrop and the brown text, and it just feels cozy. Obviously, you could tell that they really loved and put a lot of emphasis into the autumn aesthetic. And so I'm curious what the other seasons will be and how they'll present something different to the game, winter, spring, and summer. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them. And so without further ado, guys, if you did enjoy this video, even though it was something different than what you guys normally see, support it by dropping a like. It's a great free way to help out the channel, help the video get seen by more people, and it's also a great way to let me know if this is something you'd want to see more of in the future. If so, I definitely am excited and down for watching or reading issue 2, issue 3, and whatever other issues that come out of the Witchbrook Oracle. And as always, guys, if you enjoy cozy commentary for your viewing pleasure through a variety of cozy indie games, you already know what to do. Hit that sub button. We'd love to have you part of our community. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.